week-long challenge of posting on YouTube. My name is Dakir, and I'm a dietitian that helps women to heal from recurring vaginal infections. And today's topic, I'm going to be talking about the vicious medication cycle that lands people or women dealing in or with these recurring vaginal infections, or it keeps them stuck in these recurring vaginal infections. So before even looking at my notes here, I'm just going to talk straight from my own knowledge. So, as we know, a lot of women deal with reoccurring or even just one-time vaginal infections. They'll get put on antibiotics, but if their body is not in a healthy state, as in like their gut may be a little bit imbalanced, this can lead to long-term recurring vaginal infections. And this is because antibacteria wipes away your good bacteria and also your bad bacteria. So while it is killing the infection, and for some people, taking antibiotics once helps and they don't have any recurring infections after that and they're good to go. But for others whose bodies were more in a disharmonious state, the antibiotics were more opportunistic in allowing the bad bacteria to overgrow, causing them to deal with the reoccurring vaginal infections. So because our gut thrives off of good and bad bacteria, but we do need a little bit more of good bacteria. We want there to be like homeostasis, like a equilibrium there between the good and bad bacteria. The bad bacteria, obviously, that overgrows is what allows for us to get the reoccurring vaginal infection, because there is a gut vagina connection, which I'm going to talk about in a different video. And when we take away the good bacteria, there's no protective bacteria to protect us from these reoccurring vaginal infections. So then it also it's like a double whammy. It just causes these infections. So when you take antibiotics and your body is not in homeostasis or in a good state, then antibiotic wipes away the bad bacteria, but also the good bacteria, allowing for the yeast or bacteria to overgrow, which then leads you to getting a yeast infection. So most people start off with like a bacterial infection that get put on antibiotic. Antibiotic causes a yeast infection. Then once you have a yeast infection, you need an antifungal. Now, my last doctor did tell me that diflucan, which is the yeast infection medication, can cause further gut dysbiosis, which I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But if that is really the case, then if that's causing further gut dysbiosis, then going from a yeast infection to now another bacterial infection, and you're going back and forth, dealing with these recurring vaginal infections and being stuck on medications because it keeps happening because of the gut imbalances that are occurring. So you get the bacterial infection, antibiotic wipes for the good and bad bacteria. Then you get a yeast infection because you have a lot of bad bacteria that overgrow, which allowed for the fungi, candida, to overgrow. So then now you have a yeast infection, now you're on diflucan. And now you're out of balance because now you're getting BV symptoms again. And this leads to women getting stuck in this vicious cycle of BV yeast, antibiotic diflucan, over and over and over again, and people get stuck in this for years. So when I first dealt with my recurring vaginal infections back in 2017 to 2019, I was dealing with a yeast infection. And when I was dealing with that infection, I ended up having it for 2 years. 2 years, because this is my first ever vaginal infection. I didn't know anything about vaginal infections. I never had a yeast infection before, so I didn't even know it was possible to have an infection like that for up to 2 years, but I did. And I was struggling a lot. Like, I couldn't walk places. I would call out of work. I couldn't even stand at work. I would put like oregano oil, tea tree oil, tampons up there to help, but then it would cause it to be really inflamed. I couldn't have sex. I couldn't do anything because it was really, really painful. And so you can imagine I was extremely I wasn't like depressed in my life. I was extremely depressed about my vagina because it held me back from so many things, and I would always cry about it because it was just so painful. I didn't know anyone else that was going through it, and I was just like, how am I the only person that's dealing with this? To me, it just seems so fucking random, and it was literally insane. So I unfortunately was stuck in that cycle. And I know it happened for a reason, because now I'm here to teach women how to heal from that cycle, because there's not much people online. So to teach you women, especially people from my perspective, because I'm a dietitian. So I teach about nutrition, gut health, all the health things that you need in order to help you heal. And so With that being said, I healed myself eventually because it went from being yeast and then it turned into mycoplasma ureaplasma. There are two other bacterial infections that can cause similar symptoms. And then I went on this like 3 month healing journey and I finally healed myself. But then I got another infection back in 2023 and then that turned into another 2 year episode and that one was stress induced. So with the recent episode that I had, I actually did not use medications because I just figured that it wouldn't work for me since that's what happened last time. I didn't want to waste my time making the issue worse. So I did use medications, but I'm going to look at my notes now and explain some other reasons as to why this medication cycle takes place when dealing with recurring vaginal infections. So, medications like antibiotics or antifungals provide short-term relief but can lead to long-term imbalances. So these medications like Diflucan, Metro, Flagyl, whatever, they treat the symptoms but they don't get to the root cause. And that's most medications. They treat the symptoms, not the root cause. That's because doctors are not trained to get to the root cause. Western medicine doctors are trained to diagnose and to treat. Eastern medicine doctors, like Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, they're taught to, it's more preventative. So they're taught to get to the root cause and to heal or to prevent it from even happening. So American medicine is, Western medicine is a lot different because we're often treated with medications and Americans love quick relief, right? So medications often treat symptoms, don't get to the root cause, and the root cause is usually always, not usually, but always a gut imbalance. So I had a girl on TikTok make a video saying that she was on antibiotics that caused her infections, and I was telling her it's it's a gut health issue. She's like, it's not always a gut health issue, but she failed to understand that antibiotics causes gut dysbiosis, which means that it is a gut health issue. Everything stems from within your gut because our gut bacteria basically modulates our vaginal health, our immune system, our hormones, our mental health. It facilitates a lot of different things. So this vicious cycle of being on medications also disrupts your vaginal microbiome. So we have several microbiomes on our body. We have our skin microbiome, oral, our vaginal, our gut. And it's just like a house of bacteria that lives there, good and bad bacteria. And oftentimes when, obviously as we know, when the bad bacteria overgrows, that's when we get infections and things like that. So frequent medication use can kill both harmful and beneficial bacteria, making the vagina more vulnerable to future infections. So if these medications are killing off your good bacteria, you have no good bacteria to protect you, which can then lead to you getting more of these infections. And repeated use of the same meds can lead to reduced effectiveness over time, which can lead to antibiotic resistance, that's what that is, and biofilm formation. So antibiotic resistance is basically when antibiotics are no longer working for you. And this can also be a result of a biofilm, which is basically like a little bubble that these bacteria and fungi create around themselves to protect themselves and shield themselves from medications so that medications can't penetrate them and get rid of them, and so that they can stay living happily in your gut and your vag forever. So that's really important to know. So common patterns when dealing with this vicious medication cycle, one involves, like I told you, the yeast BV pendulum. It's when you alternate between treating yeast and BV, but the medications keep shifting your pH and microbiome in opposing ways, which keeps you stuck in that cycle. And most doctors, not most, some doctors are not aware that antibiotics, the effect of antibiotics on your gut, because these doctors are not trained in nutrition, right? So doctors go to school for 8 years and they have a lot to learn. So adding nutrition into the curriculum is not really feasible for them, which is why we have dietitians. So dietitians specialize in nutrition. It's not a doctor's job to teach you nutrition or how to eat or to teach you about gut health, because even GI doctors don't know, not all of them, some of them. Some of them don't even know about gut health, honestly. So it's really important that with any health condition, you see a dietitian, because the root of health conditions is gut health. And nutrition is the root of everything. So you can be put on medications for anything, but if the nutrition is not addressed, then you're going to be stuck dealing with it and being on medications. So the yeast BV pendulum is really, really, really common because, like I told you, the medications shift the pH and microbiome in opposing ways, causing you to get more infections. So if doctors don't know about gut health, and they're putting you on antibiotics, they're not going to think to put you on a probiotic, because probiotics should be taken 2 to 3 hours after antibiotics to replenish the good bacteria to prevent yeast, BV, and other gut imbalances. So some doctors don't know that, so they put people on antibiotics and their health declines or it gets worse because the impact that antibiotics have on your gut. So a second common pattern in the cycle is misdiagnosis or self-diagnosis. So treating the wrong condition can worsen the imbalance. So for example, a lot of women who deal with yeast-like symptoms may not have a yeast infection at all. They may have what's called cytolytic vaginosis, which is when your vagina has too much lactobacilli that causes the same exact symptom as a yeast infection, but it's not a yeast infection. So if you are using diflucan to treat cytolytic vaginosis, but it's not a fungal infection, it can further worsen the balance. Or some women are getting diagnosed with BV when in reality they have aerobic vaginitis, which is when you have aerobic bacteria living in your vagina, like E. coli, staph, that causes you to have similar symptoms to BV. So some GYNs, surprisingly, are not aware of these conditions, like cytolytic vaginosis, aerobic vaginitis, and they're more commonly aware of, like, obviously BV, yeast infections, UTIs, mycoplasma, ureaplasma is more commonly known now. But when I was dealing with my yeast infections, no doctor in the U.S. tested me for mycoplasma or ureaplasma. I got tested for that when I went abroad in the Netherlands, and that's when I realized that that's what I had. And so Western medicine, in my opinion, definitely is behind and is failing women in a lot of different ways. And this is one of the main ways in which they're failing women, because I literally started my TikTok page back in, I think, at the beginning of June, and now we're at the ending of July, and I already have over 1,500 followers. It took me 4 years to grow my other TikTok page to 1,500 followers, and I gained 1,500 followers literally in like 2 months. And it's supposed to show you how many women need help, because they're stuck in these cycles and they don't know what to do about it. And a lot of women are also stuck with STIs, like, or STDs like trichomonas, and it's not working, or herpes and HSV, and no one's giving them educational nutrition, which can help to get rid of these infections. So it's really unfortunate, but that's why I'm glad that I have my page to help women learn about these things, so that they can see the help that they need. So third common pattern in this cycle is lack of root cause exploration, which is what Western medicine fails in. They don't get to the root cause, they just give you medications. So doctors don't often test for hormonal imbalances, gut dysbiosis, or immune dysfunction, all of which can cause chronic infections, unless you're seeing a naturopathic doctor or a functional medicine doctor or a functional medicine dietitian. So I have a friend who is a functional medicine dietitian. Her name is Joanna. I will link her below, but she does some of these functional medicine tests that can help you get to the root cause of your issues. I did a test with her last year, a GI map test to get to the root cause of my acne. And my acne is definitely systemic. I've been dealing with acne for over 15 years, and I've had periods of time where I've healed it and it came back. So I need to do some more tests to see why it keeps coming back. But lack of root cause exploration can be what's also causing you to stay stuck in this cycle. So with that being said, if you are tired of guessing, trying to figure out what's wrong with your vagina, you keep bouncing back and forth between different infections, you are tired of being in this yeast BV pendulum cycle, you're tired of being misdiagnosed or not being paid attention to. I've actually seen a woman on TikTok saying that her doctor literally released her as a patient because he couldn't help her, because she kept in with the infections. And this is because there's a lack of education in nutrition and also in mindset work, because your mind controls your body. So I'm going to be releasing another video sometime this week on mindset connection when it comes to healing your recurring vaginal infections. But if you're tired of not being able to walk, not being able to have sex, not being able to just feel normal, then I invite you to join the Vag Reset program or purchase my Vag Reset ebook, which I go through everything that you need to know in order to help you heal your recurring vaginal infections. Or if you do the Vag Reset program, you have a weekly Q&A on Fridays. You get to be in a community group with other women who are also healing. I give you a one-to-one plan for nutrition and manifestation. Sorry, I'm always like itching. You get voice note coaching for a month. You basically get access to me for a month, 24/7, for me to help you heal. And I provide you with all the tools and resources that you need in order to heal. And I give you a whole entire protocol. You also have to do weekly check-ins so I can keep on track of your progress. I help you with supplements, telling you what to eat, what not to eat, um, things like that. So I already have women in here that are healing in this program, and a lot of these women, I usually recommend getting a test with Evie before even starting the program, because Evie is an at-home vaginal microbiome testing company that I use to help me heal. So I recommend it to other people as well. But one of my clients in the program, she didn't even get her Evie test results yet. She's already healing. Like, her body's already going through the die-off purging phase without even having the Evie test. So that goes to show you the power of nutrition and the power of mindset once you are in that state of mind. So you can join the Badge Reset program. It's linked down below, or you can purchase the Badge Reset ebook. And if you want to try a test with Evie, then I have a link for also $20 off of your first Evie order. So, some underlying contributors that are often ignored when dealing with recurring vaginal infections include: one, gut health. Like I mentioned, a compromised gut microbiome can lead to recurring vaginal issues, especially if leaky gut or candida is present. So everything starts within the gut. If your gut is out of whack, something else in your body is going to be out of whack. Number two, hormonal imbalances. So low estrogen, PCOS, thyroid dysfunction impact vaginal pH and immunity. So your thyroid plays a really big role in your hormones. And so obviously if you have thyroid dysfunction, this can lead to impacting your vaginal pH and immunity. And then low estrogen can lead to more yeast infections. PCOS can lead to insulin resistance. That can lead to yeast infections and other hormonal imbalances. Three, chronic inflammation and stress, because stress suppresses your immune system, which leads to you being basically not immunocompromised per se, but your immune system is a little bit suppressed. So that allows for these infections to come in and cause you more harm. And chronic stress also leads to inflammation. And inflammation starts within the gut. So cortisol and poor immune regulation can make the body more infection prone. And four, as you guys already know, diet and lifestyle. So having a high added sugar intake, high ultra processed foods like Wendy's, McDonald's, Chinese food, tight clothing, synthetic fabrics like from Shein and Temu that have xenoestrogens in them, and poor hygiene practices can contribute over time. So right now, it's July 31st. Tomorrow, August 1st, I am running a 30-day free no added sugar challenge to help women with this. So if you see this on time, definitely join that challenge. But diet and lifestyle play a really big role in healing from these infections and breaking this medication cycle. So if you want to get out of the vicious cycle of medications, BV, yeast, and now you don't know what it is because now you're testing negative for both BV and yeast, but you still feel like something is off, here are some holistic approaches. Number one, microbiome restoration. So probiotics, vaginal and gut targeted probiotics, more fermented foods, more prebiotic rich foods. Prebiotics feed probiotics. So if you want your probiotics to work more effectively, combine it with prebiotic rich foods like apples, the skin on apples, leeks, asparagus, onions, garlic, sourdough bread. These things are going to help to feed the probiotics to allow them to flourish and to have more in your gut. Anti-inflammatory nutrition, so focusing on whole foods, healthy fats, fibrous carbs, and hormone-supportive herbs. If you're on any medications, always speak with the doctor before incorporating herbs. But the more anti-inflammatory your diet is, the better for you to heal from these infections. Functional testing, stool tests like a GI map test that can test for your gut bacteria and your gut imbalances. GI map tests for parasites, bacteria, fungi, viruses, inflammation, so they're a great tool. A vaginal microbiome testing like Evie. I told you guys, Evie tests for over 700 microbes that your GYN does not test for. Evie also tests for antibiotic resistance, STIs, other things that, but your normal GYN does not test for all that Evie tests for, which is why you're able to get to the root cause using Evie. Like I told you guys, I have a link in my bio to get $20 off your first Evie order. You can do a hormone panel like a Dutch test, or I believe it's called a HTMA, a hair tissue mineral analysis, I think. Dutch test can help to get to the root cause of your hormonal imbalances. I believe it's a saliva swab. And then the hair mineral analysis test would require a lock of your hair to test for any mineral imbalances. These can help you to get to the root cause of what's going on in your body. And then you also have obviously rebuilding the trust with your body. So listening to your symptoms without shame and prioritizing long-term healing over quick fixes. So this is why on my channel I do have vaginal healing meditations to help you with this. So I have one for releasing shame and guilt around recurring vaginal infections. I have one for releasing fear. I have one for just visualizing healthy vaginal health. And I also have a vaginal healing subliminal on my YouTube channel. I also have a free 8-hour overnight vaginal healing affirmation sleep tape that is also going to be linked down below. So I provide a lot of mindset tools to help you, because when you don't have trust in your body and you hate your body and you're talking badly about your body, this is going to delay your healing and make it even worse. So mindset is really, really, really important. And lastly, this is not medical advice, this is education, but you can also just choose not to take the antibiotic. I'm not your GYN, I'm not telling you what to do, but me personally, when I was dealing with the recurring infection again for 2 years, I didn't take antibiotics once because I knew that it was gonna make it worse. And so when I was also my first time healing back in 2017, at one point I stopped taking all medications together, and that's when I healed, because I stopped allowing these medications to disbalance my gut and my vag, because I was just like, if this is making it worse, why am I going to continue taking it, right? So I chose to stop taking medications when healing both times, and both times I healed. So it's not like medications do not heal, so you don't need them to heal. They only address the root cause. So you're allowed to refuse medications if you want to and go a more holistic route. You're allowed to tell your doctor that this is making it worse, I want to take it. But you have to understand that you need to trust your body to heal, and you have to take the right steps to heal, which involves mindset work, nutrition, proper sleep, stress management, physical activity, things that are going to bring your body back into balance, because healing these recurring vaginal infections is a mind, body, spirit healing experience. It's not just, let me try this probiotic and see if it works, or let me cut out gluten and dairy and see if this works. It's a whole full body healing experience. So if you are ready for that, join the Vag Reset program. I can help you, because if you refuse antibiotics and medications but you don't know what to do, then you're just going to be stuck. So join the Vag Reset program so I can help you. But otherwise, if you have felt trapped in a loop of meds and doctors and nothing is helping you, and you're testing negative for things, but you're still being told that your labs are normal, but you don't feel normal, your intuition is valid. Listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, listen to what your body is telling you, and keep seeking help until you find the proper help. Of course, my page can help you. I post on TikTok. I'm not so active on Instagram. I'm trying to be more active on Threads, but I'm here to help. So, last note, healing is 100% possible. It does not matter if I'm a dietitian, you're not. I'm an average human being, and so are you. We're both the same. I'm not any better than anyone else. I just happen to have more knowledge in nutrition. But if I was able to heal 2 times, both from 2-year-long recurring vaginal infections, you can too. So this is not a matter of, oh, I'm a dietitian, of course I know how to heal. Like, no, because the first time I got this infection, I wasn't even a dietitian. I was actually in school to go to pharmacy school, ironically, and I was getting an undergrad degree, I think either bio. I switched my major like 3 times. It was like, first it was chemistry, then it was bio, then it was biochem. So I wasn't even a nutrition major at that point, and I still healed. So it's 100% possible for you. I want you to get that in your head. You're not stuck in this forever. It is possible. And you are seeing this video for a reason, because I'm here to serve as an example that it is possible for you to heal. So with that being said, that concludes today's video. I hope this helped you to understand the vicious medication cycle when dealing with recurring vaginal infections. And if you need more support, like I told you guys, join the Vag Reset, follow me on TikTok, or purchase the Vag Reset ebook. And I also do have some free resources down in my link tree. So I will see you all tomorrow.